Oi, how you doing, elites? Welcome to a brand new tutorial. And today's tutorial, this video right here, I'll be going over how to build a simple yet crazy efficient slime farm. This slime farm is designed for Minecraft Java Edition 1.16 and up. This video is being recorded specifically in Minecraft 1.16.4. We'll go over the materials in a second, but honestly, to build this farm, you really don't need that much at all. You could build this relatively early on in your world if you know where a slime chunk is. Timestamps for this tutorial will be located down in the description below. If you enjoy the video, if it helps you out, remember to leave a like and subscribe. And now, let's take a look at the materials. Honestly, the trickiest part about this farm is the grind that is required to set it up. The materials, they're all actually pretty easy to get. An exact amount, you'll need 24 magma blocks, 16 blocks of iron, and 4 carved pumpkins. The iron blocks and the carved pumpkins will be for iron golems. You'll need at least 40 fences, walls will work too. You'll also need 1 hopper, 2 chests, a redstone repeater, a comparator, and a redstone torch. You'll also need 1 minecart with a hopper inside of it. In less exact amounts, you'll need some combination of 24 rails. The more powered rails, the better. With that being said though, you'll need at least like 8 or so powered rails and a good handful of normal rails as well. Now, in non-exact amounts, you'll need ways to power your powered rails, so maybe redstone blocks or levers. Redstone torches or anything else would work too. I recommend having a diamond pickaxe or better for this build because there is a lot of digging required. You might want some ladders so you can get up and down into this farm. Totally optional though. Bubble columns would work too. Torches or any type of light source. Jack-o'-lanterns are a great option. You'll need a couple sources of water. And then finally, you'll probably want to have a couple building blocks as well, but don't worry about the building blocks. If you're cool with using stone, you'll get a lot of stone because there will again be a lot of digging required. So these are the materials. Go ahead and gather these things, and then it's time to find a slime chunk. Before you can do anything, first you're going to need to find a slime chunk. What's a slime chunk? Well, a slime chunk is a 16 by 16 block area in your world in which slimes can spawn. If you press F3 and G, all chunks will show up. So basically, this area inside of this box that I'm in right now is one single chunk. It goes from the top of the world to the bottom of the world. We need to find the slime chunks. How do we do that? Well, really, there are 2 main ways. Method number 1, the manual way, definitely less cheaty, but a whole lot more grindy. Or method number 2, the quicker way. The manual way to find a slime chunk basically consists of digging tall, long hallways in your world and then giving it time. Eventually, a slime should spawn inside of that hallway and then boom, you've found a slime chunk. I have an older video on that method. I'll go ahead and leave a card on screen now. If you're not into the long grindy method though, here's the other way that you could do it. First, type /seed in your world. Get your world seed. Then go ahead and copy it. After that, slide over to a third-party website like Chunkbase. I'll go ahead and leave a link to this down in the description below and put your seed in this box right here. Make sure your version is correct, then scroll down. All of these green chunks are slime chunks. Put your coordinates in and a red dot will be placed on the map. Then after that, scroll around until you find a green chunk that you like and go to that chunk in your world. So, for me, this chunk right here with this marker in it is actually a slime chunk. Now that we've found a slime chunk, we can actually start work on the project. First things first, we're going to need to dig all the way down to Y39. When digging down, I highly recommend, to make your life easier, find a corner of that chunk that you'll be building your farm in and dig down from the corner. So, again, you need to go all the way down to Y39. That's where this farm starts. Here we are, Y39. Now we need to start digging out an area. This area needs to be 3 blocks high and it needs to go the entire chunk and then 3 blocks past on one side. The side that you decide to go 3 blocks past does not matter at all. So for today, let's go ahead and go 3 blocks past on this side right here. That'll be perfect. So slime can actually spawn in 2 places inside of your world. The first place is a swamp biome on the surface. The other place inside of slime chunks. But inside of a slime chunk, they can't spawn everywhere. Slime can only spawn in slime chunks below Y40. The light level doesn't matter, thankfully. So it can be as bright or as dark as you'd like, but it has to be below Y40. Now digging the space out could potentially take some time, and unfortunately, after this first digging step, well, you're not actually done. So if you have access to a beacon, definitely set a beacon up, or if you're on a server, absolutely, find some people to help you. But here we go. The first layer is dug out. We are again at Y39, and we went 3 blocks past on this side over here. This room that we just dug is 3 blocks tall, so the big slime have room to spawn. After digging out your first layer, you're going to want to dig out your second layer. So find one of the corners, dig down 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can go ahead and put this one back, or don't if you want to way back up. The next platform that you'll be clearing out should be on Y35. Now technically, big slime only need a 2.5 block space to spawn. That means your top platform could be built out of top half slabs, and then this next platform, the one we're digging right now, could be a little bit higher up. But because of how productive this farm will eventually become, you really don't need to worry about it. Alright, platform platform number 2 finished. Now we have a bunch more platforms to go, but before we do that, on that area that you went past your chunk a little bit outside, you can actually go ahead and remove the floor. This is going to be our dropping area eventually. Also, while digging your chunks, make sure you light them up, otherwise you're going to get a bunch of mob spawns in here. So place some torches down, or maybe even if you want to, place some jack-o'-lanterns in the floor. That would work too. So your first platform should be at Y39, your second one at Y35, your third one Y31, fourth one Y27, fifth one Y23, sixth one Y19, seventh one Y15, and then finally your final one all the way down at Y11. Now technically, yes, there is room for a couple more platforms down below this one, but is it worth it? Well, I guess it's really up to you. The farther down you go in your world, the more likely you are to run into lava, and lava, it's annoying. So usually I would recommend just stopping at Y11, above the lava. So you're going to want to dig all of this space out. Again, yeah, it's going to take some time, and then on that area that you went past your chunk, dig out the floor or the ceiling too, because this area should connect all the way down to the bottom of your chunk. Another way to do this that would involve less counting, start at the surface and dig your chunk all the way out down to Y11, or really even as far as you'd like to go. Then you could come back in and place the platforms after, but that's going to require a little bit more digging. Either way though, when you're done with this thing, you're going to want to have platforms that are at least 2.5 blocks apart. How we're doing it, we'll have our platforms 3 blocks apart, and it won't matter at all. On one side of your chunk, you should have a falling area that extends 3 blocks past your chunk all the way down to the bottom. A little bit of time, a lot of digging later, and here we go. We have 8 platforms all dug out and lit up. And the lit up part, it's super important. Make sure your platforms are at least a light level 8, or you're going to get things like skeletons and creepers spawning on these platforms too. Not good. If you have any cave systems that connect to your chunk, go inside of them, light them up, and then block them off. Now at this point in the build, you're going to need to be careful because slime might actually start spawning and jumping off of this platform, so watch out for them. Remember, big slime deal a lot of damage. All the way down at the bottom of your farm, go ahead and dig 2 blocks past your platform. 2 more blocks down all the way along your chunk. After that, go to one end and place 3 water sources down just like that. That's going to move over towards the middle. That's perfect. Then after that, dig 2 more blocks down everywhere else except for where the water is. Now you should have something that looks like this. One side has water, the other side is dug 2 more blocks down. And this corner, dig down and then dig out right there. Place a chest right there, place a hopper right there. On the other side of this, you're going to want to put a ladder or something so you can get all the way down here. I also highly recommend making this at least a double chest because this thing is going to fill up very quickly. Now it's time to set up a simple circuit that'll stop the hopper minecart that'll be picking up all of the slime balls and let it unload everything into the hopper. The circuit is really small, it's simple. Start by clearing out a little bit of space. Then place a comparator coming out of your hopper. That comparator should go into a solid block. On that solid block, place a redstone torch, just like that. Then place another solid block right above it. After that, place a repeater facing towards your hopper. Finally, to complete everything, place one more solid block right next to that repeater. Then place a powered rail on top of your hopper. Right now, that rail should be on. Now we need to set up a rail line so our hopper minecart can run on it and pick everything up. We'll start by placing one unpowered rail right next to this powered one right there. Then we'll place some power sources in here. We'll use redstone blocks. If you don't have those, you could just use levers, and we'll run powered rails all throughout this thing, just like this. After we place some powered rails, we'll come back in with unpowered rails and link everything up, just like this. Then over here, we'll have the minecart bounce off of the wall and come back. So place a powered rail right next to a solid block. This is what we have now. Now we'll go ahead and place our hopper minecart in here, and it should start running. To show off the circuit, let's say we had a bunch of items there. The hopper minecart picks it up, and then it stops right here, and it's unloading everything into the hopper. Once everything is out of the minecart with the hopper, and the hopper is empty, this will continue running again. The big part here is the hopper being empty. If your farm gets backed up and slime balls get in here, this minecart will stop running, so don't let your farm get backed up. Now we can go ahead and cover this area up with magma blocks. So the magma blocks will do the job for us. These will take out the slime. Slime do not like magma blocks. The water over here on this half is to simply conserve materials. If you're really loaded, you could put rail lines underneath this whole thing, all magma blocks, but if you're working on a budget, the water is fine. The water will push all of the slime over to the magma blocks. Finally, we need a way to draw the slime off of these platforms. How do we do that? Well, simple, iron golems. Slime hate iron golems for some reason. Why? No clue at all. I recommend placing your first iron golem in between the first 2 platforms. The room that you'll be placing your iron golems in should be 3 or 4 blocks tall and 3 blocks deep. just like this space right here. Don't worry about exact Y coordinates and measurements too much for this part. The goal is 1 iron golem for every 2 floors. Before you place your iron golem in, place 3 fences along the bottom. Then go ahead and build your iron golem, but if you build it against the wall, it might end up getting stuck in the wall, so be careful. So boom, there we go. Then place a light source in here so we don't get any mobs that spawn inside of the thing, and then a couple more fences just to keep this iron golem safe. You could even go up one more in the middle if you'd like, but slime actually can't see through fences, so if you fill this in all the way, the slime will never see the iron golem, and they won't jump off of the platform trying to get the iron golem. Now, occasionally, because these ledges aren't too far away and they are technically ledges, slime can jump over here and land on these ledges and bounce around for a little while. Usually the iron golems will hit them and throw them off of this ledge. If you don't want that happening, however, you can place a trapdoor. That might help a little bit, but they can still get caught on this ledge. There's really no good way around it. On this farm today, I have 1 iron golem, 2, 3, and then 4. But if you have access to more iron, you could place more. Now, when a slime spawns on this platform and moves over close enough to the iron golems, it will see the iron golem and then try and jump over towards the iron golem, just like that, and then it'll fall. Then it'll go over to the magma blocks, get cooked up, and then eventually those slime balls will get picked up by the hopper minecart and put into our collection chest that is over down there behind the wall. So dig out and light up your platforms, set up a funneling system and a removal system down at the bottom, then place your iron golems in the wall opposite these platforms, and you are pretty much good to go. That's actually going to be it for your slime farm. Now real quick, let's talk about improving the rates of your farm. If your farm seems to be running slow, well, first things first, go find the cave systems near your farm and light them up. Slime are a hostile mob, which means they share the hostile mob cap with all other hostile mobs, things like creepers and zombies. If you have a bunch of dark caves near your slime farm and a bunch of zombies and creepers and skeletons and, you know, things like that inside of the cave system, they're going to hurt the rates of your slime farm big time. Also, remember that slime will not spawn when you're too close to them, so don't AFK inside of the slime farm. I recommend AFKing, if you're going that route, somewhere up on the surface, like a chunk away or something like that. If this were my survival world, I'd probably build a building maybe in this chunk right over here. The slime chunk is right over there. So first, try lighting up your caves. If you want even better rates, then you could dig out the rest of your chunk, like this area right here. What you would do is dig this out all the way up to the surface. If these platforms are open to the sky, the slime will actually spawn a little bit more, but it's a lot more digging. In fact, like twice as much digging. If you're going this route, highly recommend having a beacon. If not, it's gonna take a long time, but it could be done. Next up, because these platforms are so big, sometimes slime will spawn on the opposite end of the platform and idle around for a while. Eventually, they should wander over towards the iron golem, see them, and then jump off of the platform, but it can take some time. It's all up to the mob's AI. If you don't like this, try digging another trench on the opposite side of your farm and doing the same exact thing in the wall. More iron golems and the wall over there. At the bottom on that side, you'd want to set up something just like this, so you'd end up with 2 collection areas. Doing this should honestly greatly up the rates of your farm. If all of the caves are lit up and slime are only spawning on this platform and there's 2 ledges on either side, then the slime are going to spawn and almost instantly locate the iron golems and try and jump off. It is a whole lot more work though, so it's totally up to you. You definitely don't have to do that. Finally, if you're annoyed with slime swimming against the water current down here once they hit the bottom, option number 1, just remove the water and place magma blocks along the whole side. You will need a whole lot more iron for rail lines though. Option number 2, just wait. Eventually, the slime will definitely stop caring about the water and move towards the other end. Once they're on the magma blocks, they'll start taking damage and eventually go away. The third option here though, place another iron golem inside of the wall over here. If you plan on making any improvements or additions to the farm, honestly, this is the improvement that I would make, because see, check this out. We have a slime down here. It's going to lock onto that iron golem almost right away and move over towards it. Just be careful, because this iron golem is right next to the platform, so it could take some damage. There is a way around that though. Take this platform, this chamber right here, and push it back into the wall 1 more block. But there you go. That's how you build a slime farm in Minecraft Java 1.16 and up. If you have any extra questions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments below, and then I'll do my best to get back to you. If you want to check out more of my tutorials, I'll leave the tutorial playlist on the end card of this video. Definitely check out that playlist. I have my iron farm, which is amazing, and so many other more cool farms. If the tutorial helped you out, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. It has been me, your boy Wattles. Thank you so much for watching. Hope this helped you out. Until next time, stay fresh. Goodbye.